Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys saw my last sit down video, I did names that I love but might not be using. I'm in the same shirt. I am pre-filming videos because Everly is not here right now, so this is my only time that I get to film these types of videos. So I'm not gonna switch my shirt just for a video. I don't know. Some people do it. I don't see the point. So that's why I'm in the same shirt. So yeah. But this video is going to be a relationship advice video. I did a poll a while back on Instagram and asked you guys what you'd rather see, and a lot of you guys voted for a relationship advice video, so that is what I'm doing today. I just want to add a little bit disclaimer, is that Dalton and I's relationship is not perfect by any means. I'm just simply giving you guys advice that works for us, or advice that I have seen change in our relationship because we've used and just, I don't know, I've just seen change. So that is why I'm giving you advice. I'm giving you advice that literally works for us, and just because it works for us doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. It's all about figuring out what works best for you and your significant other. So yeah, that is, I just want to add that in there. We're not perfect. We fight, we get in arguments, you know, whatever. We're normal. We are young and we have a kid. It's stressful. So yeah, we definitely are not perfect, and I'm not trying to come off like that. I'm just giving you advice that works for us. So yeah, let's get right into the video. So the first piece of advice that I can give you, well, okay, a little backstory is Dalton and I have been together for 2.5 years, but a lot has happened in those 2.5 years. You know, we started dating, then we were dating for about 1.5 years, then we got pregnant. We've just had a lot of things happen, things that I'm not going to talk about on the camera, but just things with he's gone through with family, really bad things, and just a lot of bumps in the road. So yeah, that just a little backstory. We have only been together for 2.5 years, but a lot has happened. So if we can get through all of those things, we can get through anything. That's how we look at it, because we've been through a lot in 2.5 years, especially at a young age. So it's not like we're like 30-year-olds that have our stuff together. Like, we don't. But the first piece of advice that I can give you, it sounds so cheesy and everybody says it, but it is communication. If you don't communicate with the person you're with, I mean, they can't read your mind. They don't know what you're thinking. They don't know that, oh, that bothers you, or you don't like that, or you know, whatever it is that you need to communicate. But it sounds so cheesy, but it's so true. You have to talk. You don't have to agree on everything, but you do need to talk about everything. There should be no secrets. There should be no lying. There should be nothing like that. And if there is, you either need to not be with that person, or you need to change, or they need to change, or whatever. But yeah, even if you don't agree on what you're talking about, you need to agree to disagree, and just kind of move forward from that and be like, okay, I see it one way, you see it another way, but let's just agree to disagree. This is just something that we don't agree on, something, you know, kind of like that. Definitely, this is something that Dalton and I are continuously working on, because I want him to see, like, I want him to agree with me, and he wants, like, I think my way is right and he thinks his way is right. We're both, like, I'm very stubborn and, like, not hot-headed, but just like strong-willed. Like, I know what I want, and so like it's challenging for me to be like, okay, he sees it differently than I do. And obviously everybody in their own heads usually thinks that they're right until they hear other people's point of view. So it's something that I work on and continually work on, that okay, we just are agreeing to disagree, and that's okay. You don't have to agree on everything. Like, even if you're best friends with your partner, you aren't gonna agree on everything. It's not possible to be exactly the same as somebody. So yeah, just communication, talk things out. If it starts as an argument, make sure it ends in a talk, and don't let a talk turn into an argument, those kind of things. So yeah, just agree to disagree and communicate. The next piece of advice that I have for you is, this is more for people that have kids, or if you plan on having kids in the future, or whatever. We have a 8-month-old daughter. We are young, we are teen parents, and just the best piece of advice I can give you for that, if you have kids, is you have to put your relationship with your significant other before your kids. And like, to some people always are like, that is so brutal, that means you're neglecting your kids. No, that is not even close to what that means. That just means, okay, so your kids would not be here if it wasn't for your significant other, if that makes sense. Like, you were together before you had your kids. Like, it was you two before it was you and your kids, or you and your kid. So you have to, if you, it's like kind of hard to word, but if you guys are not strong, then everything kind of like falls apart and just like dwindles away. And that's like, I think that's definitely a leading cause of divorce, is people over time, they get used to each other, they like stop doing nice things for each other, they don't go on dates, you know, they don't surprise each other, write each other letters. Just you have to put your relationship with your husband or your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend first before your kids. That doesn't mean you're neglecting them or whatever, but definitely that's why me and Dalton don't co-sleep, because when we lay in bed together, that's our time. You know, I like sleeping next to him. I love my daughter, obviously, and he loves our daughter too, but our relationship is first before anything, and that doesn't mean, it's not a bad thing. We go on dates. Once a month we go on dates, and then we go do little things together, and yeah, so relationship first. I don't care what anybody says, relationship first. And if you're not doing that, I guarantee your relationship is going to fall apart eventually. It's sad but true. You have to do that. Also, another piece of advice is, if you're arguing over something, this is something that I started doing and Dalton started doing too. If it's not gonna matter in 10 years, then drop it. Get over it. Don't even argue about it, because our life is so short. Like, when you hear, you know, the average person lives until 75 or 80, you know, that sounds like a long time, that sounds like a lot of years, but your years with your significant other or your loved one is so short, and you don't want to spend that time arguing or, you know, disagreeing or whatever. You want to spend that time loving each other and having fun. So if it is not going to matter in 10 years, don't get mad over it. Don't argue about it. You know, what I like to do is I like to pull myself away, and I don't do this every time. I do get mad over the dumbest things. I will admit that, because I am not perfect, not even close. I get mad over stupid things. And so I like to, if I can, I like to pull myself away from it. Just like be quiet for a second and think to myself, okay, is this gonna matter in 10 years? And if I say no, then I, you know, kind of will make a comment and then get over it, or we'll talk it out and then get over it. But if I say to myself, yes, this is something really serious that could matter in 10 years, then I will talk about it, then I will get concerned about it, you know, whatever, however you want to word it. But if it's not going to matter in 10 years, just be quiet, because it's fine. I promise you it is fine, unless it's something bad that's going to matter in 10 years. Then bring it up. Next thing is the way I talk like Dalton and I have been together for like 50 years. But these are just, again, we've been through so much in these 2.5 years. You have to keep dating each other. Dalton and I aren't married, but like, you probably know what I mean. Like, when you first start dating someone, it's like that honeymoon phase. Like, they give you butterflies. That does not last forever. This is why a lot of people get divorced nowadays, because they think that those like butterfly moments are, I'm not trying to say that they shouldn't last forever, because they should still last, but it's not going to be the same way you felt in like that honeymoon stage, like getting to know each other, like, oh my god, you're perfect kind of thing, like before you find out their flaws and like, oh, they're kind of an asshole, or you know what I mean, kind of thing. Like, okay, not an asshole, but like, oh, like, I don't like that they do this. Like, before you know the person's flaws is what I'm trying to say. And as you get used to each other, it kind of like dwindles away. It should never dwindle all the way. Like, you should always feel butterflies for that person, and just, you know, like excited to see them, even if it's just they're coming home from work. You should still be excited and happy to see them. But you always need to continue to date that person. You need to keep doing nice things for each other. It's not, don't go buy expensive things. It's little things like a letter. Like, Dalton appreciates so much when I write him a note, when I make his lunch for him, when he writes me a letter, which we haven't done in a while, but when we go on dates. And dates, you don't have to go on these big, expensive dates. Like tonight, for example, we're going to the farmer's market. Like, it's cheap. It's free to get in. We're going and gonna eat from the food trucks and just do something different. Or lay in bed and watch your favorite movie together after your kids go to bed. You know, stay up late and talk about whatever. And you just need to take a certain amount of time to talk every day about how each other's day was, and just make sure that your person is okay, because that is your person. And personally, I never had like a really good relationship to look up to. My parents just, they should have never been together, if that makes sense. They kind of just sort of, I don't know, I don't want to say they gave up on each other, because I love both of my parents very much, and I believe that two people can work together no matter what, but then there are terms where like you shouldn't be together. Like my parents, it just wasn't healthy for them to be together. My parents are both very happy now, and that's like, really, that's what life is about. Personally, I don't believe in, I don't want to say I don't believe in divorce, because again, there are circumstances where you should get a divorce. Personally, I don't really believe in divorce, because when you marry someone, you say till death do us part, and you are not dead. So don't get married unless you know for sure that I want to be with this person till the day that I die, till the day that I take my last breath. And yes, you know, people change over time, and that's why people get divorced too, but there's different reasons to everything. But yeah, continue to date each other. Make sure you go on date nights, / time for yourself. It can be a little thing. Watch a movie together, lay in bed together, you know, cuddle. Like, that's something that Dalton and I do every night. We cuddle before we go to bed. It sounds so stupid, but it helps. And it just, you know, you need that like affection for each other, and that alone time, and communicate. If it's not going to matter in 10 years, let it go. Just be open, agree to disagree. Just don't ever stop loving someone. Don't ever get too comfortable where you just kind of stop caring. Just always pay attention, always care, always make sure that they're okay. Make sure that, obviously, take care of yourself first, but take care of them too along the way. Just make sure that your person is okay. I don't have a perfect relationship, but these are just things that help us and continue to help us. So yeah, if you have any good advice, leave it down below. But that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. My social medias are all in the description bar below, so don't forget to follow me on all of those. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.